Hi guys, so we just got a phone call from a customer. We sold her a 2015 Forester with about 133,000 miles. It was a limited Forester, really nice. It drove good when we first sold it to her. It's a 2015 Forester. They purchased it, I think it was like a month and a half ago. We'll look at the paperwork all together here in a little bit. We're gonna go pick it up. But anyways, so she called saying that she took the car over to Les Schwab's because she was thinking her brakes were acting up or whatever. Which we did new brakes on it. But anyways, she said that they told her that the wheel bearing was damaged or whatever. And I got an email from a family member of hers, just asking, what we could do about it. And basically, they assumed that we neglected that repair for some reason. Of course, we were not aware of the wheel bearing being damaged, and that car was test driven multiple times, not just by her, by other people that came to look at it. Anyways, Les Rob told her that they needed a differential service and the wheel bearing, I think. So we're gonna go pick up the car, and we're gonna bring it over here. This is a month and a half ago. We'll take a look at it. We'll probably get it fixed for her or whatever. Anyways, yeah, that's where we're at. All right. All right, so we just picked up the car. I got the paperwork here from Les Schwab in around town somewhere. Anyway, so they quoted them $552 for a front hub assembly. Uh, so yeah, uh, I just drove it for a little bit. It honestly, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to tell that it's damaged. I'm pretty sure it is damaged. The only way to tell though is when you speed, like when you're speeding up, it doesn't hum at all or anything like that. When you're coming up, when you come into a stop, you can kind of feel something kind of when it's not the brakes, but it feels like there's some extra kind of force. I think the bearing might be going bad, but this wheel bearings on this thing, Carfax showed that they were replaced at 119,000 miles ago. At 119,000 miles, sorry, and this car has 133,000 and some change. So she's only driven it maybe like 900 miles since she purchased it. And I was pretty certain with them being replaced like 20,000 miles ago that the wheel bearings are not bad. And we'll go on a drive right now. Just I don't know if the mic can pick up the road noise. I mean, the car has road noise. It's a Subaru. They're not the quietest things, but I never assumed that the wheel bearing was bad, and it's really really hard to tell that it's bad. Of course, when we have the cars in the air, we wiggle the tires, make sure everything is on right and all that. Because safety is my number one priority. I will sell you a car. Like I got a Ranger over there, rusty, with that thing will stop, brake, and all that. Right? Like safety is the number one priority. Um, so yeah, we're gonna go on a test drive here in just a second. So we're on a drive now, guys. I'm cruising right around 60. I got some corners coming up here. The car drives pretty straight. I'm not hearing much. Are you hearing anything, Ivan? No. I mean, other than the road noise, right, and maybe the tire noise potentially. Tires are still good, but they got a quote for new tires. I forgot. I think the tires to me they were like 7/32. I'm not gonna replace those. On an all-season tire where they come in usually around 10 new or something like that. Uh, anyway, it's really hard to tell anything is wrong with this thing. Like you drive it and it'd be really hard to tell there's anything wrong with it. But of course, you know, like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna brake right now. The only way you can really tell is when you're braking, and like right about there, you can kind of hear like a humming, which you can associate with the brakes also, right? So it's like it's hard to tell if it's the brakes or if it could be a wheel bearing. And like I said, the brakes were done, wheel bearing was done like 20,000 miles ago. I mean, I think I made the right call. I feel good about selling this car, right? Now that they came in telling me that somebody told them that it needs a wheel bearing, right? Uh, I mean, I'm gonna replace it. I'm gonna replace it for him because I don't want to. It's not that I don't want to burn my name or anything like that. I feel like it's the right thing to do. But of course, I'm not gonna do everything every time a customer asks for something because they also mentioned a differential, something with differential. She mentioned that the differential was bad. Uh, Maybe she meant to say that the differential needed servicing. The differential fluid looked fine on this car, and we didn't service that. But I didn't feel the need to service it, nor I don't think I'm going to service it at all with this one. But, you know, if I have to, I will, type of thing, because it's not going to cost me very much to do. And to me, a happy customer, you know, means the world, right? They haven't even left me a 5-star review or any review or anything like that, nor am I going to ask for one. But I feel like doing the right thing is always a good thing, right? So, uh, yeah, that's a day in the life of an independent dealer trying to make it in this world, and it's not easy. It's tough. There's a lot of these little things because people are buying this car was like $9,000, but people are always buying $5,000 cars, $3,500 cars, and they're expecting to get something brand new, right? They're expecting to get a car that doesn't need anything, right? And I try to do as much as I can to my cars. You know, I don't neglect anything that's safety wise. I neglect cosmetics, right? I neglect that all day long. I neglect dents, right? But as far as safety things, if I knew this wheel bearing was bad, and of course, if you're a car guy, you know that if a wheel bearing is bad, it's gonna be hard for you to sell the car because people are gonna assume what? They're gonna assume the worst. They're gonna assume that's the differential making the noise or the transmission making the noise, right? And that is definitely gonna hinder my chances of selling that car to that customer. So what do? I replace that, right? I replace that. I replace, stabilizer bars, axles, things like that, right? Obviously, we fix pretty much every leak on every car, unless it's a car that we're selling as is. We got it as is. If we get trade-ins that come in, like this, this beautiful 2002 Ford F-250 that spits out bald eagles out of the exhaust. I'm not doing anything to that thing. I'm selling it as is. How I got it. I haven't even gotten underneath it to see how much is leaking. I'm sure it's leaking. It's a 5.4 liter Triton. But those things, top it off, they'll run. Somebody needs a farm truck. That's a farm truck, right? Anyway, that's a day in the life of a used car, independent dealer out here in the country.